Fairfield are watching another installment of Fairfield 2.0. I'm Mike Ragogna, and you've heard me blabber on over at Crew FM. Well, lucky you are going to get acquainted with a couple of other folks. Yeah, yes, you and you, as we like to say at Crew, solar-powered Crew FM. And we have two personalities over there, but also more importantly, we also have a musician and a man who knows so much about country music, and we're gonna just wing it with a lot of stuff. Let's there you go, perfect. Let's just introduce everybody. This fine gentleman, Cory Hickenbottom. You do know him from all sorts of things other than Crew. You know him from being a show host over at the Sondheim for the country show.
Only one show.
But still, you know him, you remember it very well. A very memorable moment. And also Gabriel Bishop. Gabriel Bishop, banjo player and also Crew personality. And
music fan.
Music fan. Yes.
And most importantly, music fan. What do you want to...
Do we have his picture? Is that saved for later?
You mean his baby picture?
I
think it's very important.
Maybe people will know him best from his childhood.
I think so. People should take a look at Gabriel's baby picture right about now. For no good reason, but let's just do this anyway. And there we go.
This is our guest today, Mr.
Gabriel Bishop. Okay. And we're going to be talking with Gabriel in a moment, but first, we have to choose somebody first. Yeah. You want to do rock, paper, scissors and see who goes first?
I want to arm wrestle.
Deal. I'll take you down.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're doing this on. Okay.
Do you want?
No, we're good. All right. 1, 2. Who's there going to be a referee? Or
I'll referee. Okay. 1.
Do you have to put the hand over here?
We'll do it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Wow, he's good.
He's a strong one. He's an Iowa boy, I have to say. And so is Cory. Cory's an Iowa boy.
Oh, no.
Who's going down? And this is how we're going to start every show. Fairfield 2.0. Oh, all right. There you go.
You did a good job.
This is how we will decide.
I'm gonna say, I came into the studio being like I can take down anybody in this place. I've knocked down a few notches in this place.
17 years old, so who knows?
17?
Gabriel. All right, let's start here. You have a couple of shows on Crew. What are they, and what kind of music do you play?
On Thursdays, I play the 4 to 5 show of Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, which I do plan on changing it. It is a bit out there for a name.
It's not out there.
It's a bit out there. I mean, Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. It's kind of weird.
It kind of is a G thing, because before you was Gary Garles, the G-Man.
Oh, look at this. Look at the symmetry here.
Dang.
You see?
It's a G thing.
It's a G thing.
So maybe it ain't nothing. You just take the ain't nothing off. And
it's a G thing.
It's a G thing.
It's a G thing. There you go. There's your show.
We're going to change it to
But that's already,
that
was kind of, it's just paraphrasing the original title, right? Ain't nothing but a.
Yeah, just get rid
so
of all that.
the easier way to say it is, it is a G thing.
It's a G thing?
It's just a.
Always been a G thing when you look at it. And then you also have another one, right?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't finish talking about it.
That's right. We have the title, and I guess what kind of music do you play on that their show?
On the Thursday shows, I usually play a good little bit of electronic music, house, things like that, ambient, a little bit of jazz and whatnot.
Sometimes a Grateful Dead song.
Sometimes a lot of Grateful Dead. But
he's the one? He's the one. All right, okay.
I'm the one.
It's
really
Grateful Dead with a G.
Yeah.
It's a G.
It just continues. Let's do this.
Other than that, on Saturdays from 10 to 12, I play the Genome Zone. And from there, I play anything from the Grateful Dead to...
You play the Grateful Dead? Yeah. Okay.
The Grateful Dead all the way to violins. Or harmonicas, anywhere from...
Sax and violins.
Yep, anywhere from in between.
See what I did this week? See that, Fairfield?
Did you hear this guy? Sax and violins!
Anyway, I wanted to ask you one other question. You did grow up here. You grew up here. You grew up not here in Fairfield.
But in this building.
You grew up on the set. In that banjo case, by the way, there's a banjo sitting on the floor. You're going to hear a little music later. But you grew up in Iowa. We'll start there. But you grew up not in Fairfield, but where?
I grew up in Keosauqua.
Is that where that baby picture was taken?
I really couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't think so. I didn't know you're from Keosauqua.
Looked like a
Yeah, I
Keosauqua.
lived in Keosauqua for the first 10 years of my life, and then moved here to Fairfield.
My wife works in Keosauqua,
Really, where at?
the hospital.
Nice, great hospital.
It is
too.
a great hospital.
It's a great hospital that they've got in Keosauqua. Do we have a good hospital here?
No.
Fairfield?
Let's not.
What do you mean?
let's
Yes,
not,
we do. Yes,
Let's not go there. Let's not
Okay,
go
all
there.
right. Okay. By the way,
Was FPAC wanting funding from the Jefferson County Hospital this?
Ixnay on the Efferson J, LDK, Hospital Hay. What else? Now, you picked up the banjo at one point,
Yes.
and you'll be picking it up during this show, Fairfield 2.0. But what got you into banjo?
I guess everyone and their dog plays the guitar.
That's true.
You can talk to anyone. It's like, oh yeah, I play the guitar, quote unquote. And
Hey, Gabe, do you play the guitar?
no, I don't like the guitar.
Are you proud of not playing the guitar?
Yeah.
I take offense to that, actually. All right, go on. Banjo, yeah.
But
Arm wrestle. That's the ending. That's the ending, guys.
All right, we'll wait till the end.
I guess I picked it up because I just like the rhythmic feel to it of just going nuts and plucking away at it. Just feels nice.
Okay. When you're playing a tune, you're playing originals mostly? You're just playing from your
Just like
From
out
your
of the head
from your head, from your heart,
and from the heart,
and from your head.
And from the mind.
the mind.
What's it like to compose on banjo?
For just now starting, I guess I picked it up about half a year ago. Feels pretty good.
Okay.
Somewhere actually. So
Favorite songs?
on the banjo.
Banjo songs, yeah.
Oh, I don't think
We already know the Grateful Dead. We're gonna go to the Grateful Dead again. I know we asked
Yeah.
favorite songs, but favorite banjo, like Steve Martin songs or Nitty Gritty Dirt Band songs or.
Nope.
He's never even heard of these names are like, what?
Yep.
Here we go again, Fairfield. I had a show last week, or rather last time, I guess is how we'll do this because we don't know when these are running. But where I threw out the name Jim Croce, and both of the people who were sitting there were going, what?
Don't step on Superman's cape.
Well, there's the
Don't.
one. That's no, and that's not it, by the way. No, they went to Big Bad Leroy Brown, and I'm going, no, bad. Ah, you knew it all right. 17, and he knows Bad Leroy Brown. This is good. When you were growing up, what kind of music was in your house?
A lot of just country rock, I guess, from my stepdad. Not country, but like old 80s rock from my stepdad and whatnot. My grandpa was the one who listened to country.
Now, by country rock, did you also mean like maybe the Eagles were played and stuff like that?
Yeah, I didn't like the Eagles, but yeah.
All right. And did you you started to, I mean, obviously you have a taste that also skews what, electronic and okay.
Yes.
When did that start happening? And who were the bands that you first started liking? And I want to hear all about Skrillex in a minute.
No.
All right.
I first started electronic music when I was probably like 10 years old, and liked them so much in 2007, went to Las Vegas to see the Daft Punk 2000 Alive album.
Nice.
And now they're not touring anymore, so I wish that was still going on. But
you got to see him.
yeah, I got to see them, and that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Other than that, Daft Punk, Avicii, like a lot of Swedish house music. Skrillex, on the other hand, I don't understand why he got 3 Grammys. He shouldn't have,
Well,
in my opinion.
did you see the Grammys this year?
No, but I heard about it.
Wait a minute. I got to go backstage at the Grammys, not the night of the Grammys.
You did?
Yeah, I got to do I was reporting for the Huffington Post, sort of like the technical crew.
Oh,
as
nice.
opposed to going for the glam folks, Paul McCartney's and all that.
Everyone and their dog interviews Paul McCartney. It just had to be said.
Everyone.
They play banjo and they interview Paul McCartney. So not banjo, I'm sorry, guitar. But no, I decided no, let's talk to the technical crew. So that's what I was doing, walking around with someone with me holding a microphone and asking obnoxious questions, and we ended up with I had a much better view of what goes on behind the Grammy scene in the end, and
How do
I
the
have to
people
confess,
feel about it?
huh?
How do the people feel behind the Grammys? behind the crew.
Yeah, the technical crew and all those people who put it together. They look at it. It's
As
an
a
interesting
paycheck?
Yes, they
Okay.
do. There's a lot of. Let's see. There's a lot of. It's a job. It's a job and it's a technical job, and you have a lot of engineers, you have a lot of technicians, you have a lot of people that are scrambling around to make sure that the show takes place, and they don't have time to think about their place in the whole bigger picture. They don't really go there, I don't think. But they do. I think they do understand to work this thing. I think they realize the gravity of a show like that. They understand that this is a big deal, and it's probably the biggest deal for a lot of them. Although a lot of them also work on things like the Oscars, the Tonys, and all the Emmys. So they work on a lot of different things, but the Grammys is the most it's the most fun, I think, out of all of those, because on the other ones it's all really about acting and people showing off they're not being themselves, whereas with the musicians, for the most part, they're themselves. They don't really care how it's like the more out they are, the better in some respects. So the Grammys was like, the technicians on the Grammys were more like, it's a job, but this is the one that we think is the coolest. I did pick up that vibe. And it is a paycheck, but on the other hand, this is the one we like.
How do they feel about working for all that for those artists and whatnot?
Well, a lot of times what happens is, and this is also a little behind the scenes info that people I guess don't know, is that each of the artists, for instance, Paul McCartney had Jeff Emmerich come by to make sure that the sound was just right on his set. He did My Valentine and then the Abbey Road piece. So and that was a wonderful moment, and we actually got to see, me and the person I went with, we got to see the whole 2 rehearsals. We had 2 rehearsals. They had 2 rehearsals, and it was great because you had 5 guitarists on stage, including Joe Walsh, and I think David Grohl was there, and Springsteen wasn't there, but there was like stand-ins who were doing like leads. And when Paul, if you watch the Grammys, you didn't watch the Grammys, but then when we were pointing to different guitarists and stuff, there's a lot of excitement that happens, and that is a Beatle, and it's Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney does have a superstar status where when you're around him, it's like, whoa, that is a superstar. And he has a lot of power behind him and everything that he does. So that part you can't help but be impressed by all of that. And then when Rihanna played with Coldplay, that was with Chris. That was really a sweet. That was a sweet moment too. Also, we got to see Katy Perry. We snuck in. We weren't supposed to be there. We didn't really sneak in. We were sitting there, and then we found out later we weren't supposed to be. It was a closed, blocked rehearsal, and we just happened to be there. People were freaking out. We had a guard come over, try to evict us, and then we had somebody else say, no, they're okay. And then we had the publicist come by and say, you're not on the list. What are you doing here? It's like everybody panicked, and then back comes the guard. It's like, okay. So we had moments that were fun like that. Those were actually fun moments in addition to, seeing Katy Perry perform or whatever.
Nice.
All right, that was a very long.
Same thing happens to me every time I try to see Katy Perry too.
Isn't that what happens? The guards and the publicists
I saw Katy Perry leaving Vivo's last time when she was here.
Well, she frequents. What's funny to me is that she frequents the High V more than any other place in town. Is it for the fine? The makeup samples? I mean, what draws are there? I just can't figure that out. We're kidding.
There's makeup samples at Hy-Vee?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Hey, we have a couple of personalities from Crew, solar-powered Crew FM, sitting with us here. We have, just in case you just tuned in, we have Gabriel Bishop, a banjoist who. Do you think maybe it's time? You want to play a little something?
Do you say
and Cory Hickenbottom, by the way.
Do you say tuned in? Because I mean, you come. You have
tuned in. Oh, is that what you're going for?
Hey,
okay.
You know the difference between a motorcycle and a banjo?
What's the difference between a motorcycle and a banjo?
You can tune a motorcycle engine and you can
tune a motorcycle engine.
Well, by the way, everybody should show the beautiful back to your banjo.
Kind of destroyed it, so it's my own personal banjo now.
Who have you got on there?
I've got Fooch the MC from the Purple Asteroid Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
The Captain Industries from Cameron Sales.
Mm-hmm.
Solo Made Clothing, Some Little Design. That weird vaccine sticker.
That weird vaccine sticker. And that.
The flag from Kauai.
Very cool. All right, so let's combine a couple of things since we didn't really talk about Skrillex before. Why don't you play a Skrillex song for us right now? That's about it.
Americans, yeah.
What is it about Skrillex? Before we have you play, what is it about Skrillex? You're right. It's like 3 awards, and I'm hearing this like I'm hearing a real aggressive keyboard. I appreciate the technical part of this.
I feel like people love him just because he went from being Sonny Moore, that emo, depressed, screamo guy, and now he's this dubstep person that tries to do all this. And I remember reading something in a magazine, someone saying, how does Skrillex make those squizzily zoop sounds and whatnot? And people only love him for the fact he went from being Sonny Moore to being a dubstep artist.
You think that's it?
I feel like that's majority of it, because like, he changed his ways and whatnot. And if you look at half his fan base, they're all teeny bopper girls.
Right. Well, the music also it's more dance and dubstep and all that, right?
If you looked at most of the Beatles and Elvis's fans, I think you also saw the teeny bopper girls.
Yeah, there's a
But
little
that's
something.
a reason behind that one.
So you think there's no really there's like a vague reason with Skrillex?
I feel like Skrillex is a good dubstep artist, but for dubstep, I feel like it's gonna be like not house music, jump style and hard style. It's gonna be good for the next 2-3 years, and it's just gonna plummet, and there's gonna be a brand new thing coming out.
Can I tell you something? Someone I know is making an album right now, and they're using these kind of sounds on the album, and including the and then the decay. That's sort of like the da 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 do. And it's the mandatory stuff that's going at the end of verses, at the end of choruses, and during chord. It's like I'm looking at that and I'm going, this seems familiar. I've seen this before. It was called the 80s. And not only that, but it's like that, and a lot of people cannot tolerate a lot of the sounds that came out of like kush, 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 with all the drums sounding. It's like, so we've got a similar thing going on, except it's like, no man, these are just like a whole new bank of sounds. It's okay, fine. I'll see you in 3 years when you can't listen to any of this music anymore, But I don't mean it like that, like the old fogey sitting here saying.
But you know what? I think a classic sound that you just can't, that never goes out of style.
I know where you're going here.
That's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years.
What would that be, Cory?
The banjo.
The banjo! Do you know any banjo songs that you could play us right now?
I don't know any song.
Can you come up with one?
I can try.
Okay.
Usually that, but then I just keep looping it or like find something else. I've never really put together a song.
A song, yeah. So you're kind of fiddling around. You're learning your way around the banjo still. Have you started? Well, there's the banjo.
There's the banjo.
There you go, Gabriel. How long? We're sort of like playing as we're talking. Sort of like, so Gabriel, yes.
To steal from Steve Martin, you just can't be sad when the banjo's playing.
You just can't be sad when a banjo's playing. Gabriel, where are you heading with this? Are you going to try to conquer this thing?
Oh, definitely. Like
Okay.
the only other instrument I would like to get would be an acoustic bass, because that would be cool, but too expensive. I mean, like an actual like acoustic bass, because otherwise you have to play a bass by an amp.
I think that's called a doghouse bass, Mike.
Yes, and in fact, we can seg right into Cory in a moment with this.
Keep going.
Well, thank you. I'm curious about where you've seen a lot of shows around town. You've been to Cafe P a billion times, right? You've been to the beauty shop a lot of times. What do you think of the entertainment in town? Like
Very creative.
local entertainment. Okay.
Very creative. For how many bands that start off in this town, I'm shocked that none of them have been like locally signed big. Because if you're at Crew and see all those like pictures there of like bedrooms and basements and like the PAC and like Funkin' Donuts, all those things. It's like, no, there's so many bands that have been started up in Fairfield that are just waiting to be like to get out there.
And talent. I feel like, right, I feel like there is a bit of a, I feel like we have a lot of great talent here. Oh,
Yeah,
here
I
we
was
go.
gonna say, this guy plays the banjo too.
Do you?
You know, I play it better when I've been practicing.
You can consider this your.
Such a melodic and interesting sound.
I'm just embarrassing myself, I feel like.
It's just my turn.
Hey!
No, I don't think so. John McEwen would be proud. It's John that plays the banjo, right? Yeah, you're too young. You don't know. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band again. It's interesting because, like you said, you just can't be sad with a banjo, as Steve Martin often says.
That's the Cripple Creek song. Yeah, that's the one that on Hee Haw they'd be like, going up Cripple Creek, going up a run, going up Cripple Creek to have a little fun, going up Cripple Creek to see my, going up Cripple Creek, going on a whirl, going up to Cripple Creek to see my girl. That's the way that one goes. And that's the most, that's like the most commonly played, your first song
So you gave
on the
that
banjo is usually Cripple Creek.
Cripple Creek, but you gave that up. And then the next one, of course, would be Dueling Banjos.
Yeah, that one.
I can't really. I don't know.
It's a beginning.
It's
a beginning, and
start.
we're going to conquer it. We're going to kick its you-know-what.
I bet this is one of the finest, like, amount of talent you've ever had in the studio. Right at this moment.
I think everyone is talented. I think everyone is talented. I think we need to get Fairfield into this studio, no matter who you are. You may not play an instrument. You may not be Crew's finest talent, as in Cory Hickenbottom.
Is that? How do you feel about that statement?
I was gonna
Sorry
say,
about that,
whoa,
Gabriel.
whoa.
I'm sorry, but it's true. But Fairfield, you can. Let's interview you. I would love to. Fairfield 2.0, the name of this show, and the point of this show is also to get everybody into here who has a story.
It's a huge room. You know what? Because this
Everybody
room
at
goes
once.
back way. This is like a warehouse.
How many people have we got? We got 9,000 people.
That's
in
a
town?
huge audience, and the most amazing things are all being so quiet.
I know they're being so polite. This is a great town, man.
You know, I always think of radio as the theater of the imagination and television not so much. But you know what? Now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, nobody knows what's going on behind that camera
What's going on
point.
behind that
So they don't even realize all the elephants and giraffes back there, the horrible stench that's just filling this
we've been very
place.
polite about this odor. But I wanted to talk to you about that, Jason. By the way, we also have the very fine Jason Strong operating the camera behind the camera here.
We have to clap loud because he's up in the crane.
Yeah.
That's right. He's afraid of the elephants
He's
and
up
the
in the
tigers and everything that's down here, the gazelles. All
Prima
right.
Donna. He won't do a show without at least
I will
5
not do a
elephants,
show without a
3
gazelle.
gazelles, and one giraffe.
One giraffe.
He's not too
Just
picky.
There's the giraffe. And don't forget the 9,000 people from
The
there.
9,000
What is our
people?
population? What is
I
it?
believe it's 10.
For Fairfield.
We're up to 10,000 people.
Dang.
I thought, isn't that what the sign used to say?
Very good, Fairfield. You're getting busy, aren't you? That's
Or
what's
maybe
going
it's
on.
9. Maybe it's not. I think 9 is a
I don't know,
good
there's so many things about this
town that just confuses you.
Yeah,
Leaves you
this-
reeling.
Gabriel, you were not born here, as your baby picture clearly showed. So what do you think of Fairfield's? What do you think of Fairfield? Just
Can we
in
go
general?
back to his baby picture?
Okay, we could go back to the baby picture.
Okay, well,
yes. We
We
just want to remind
No.
everybody this is
you
this
should
is
answer
Gabriel
the question. You should answer the
Bishop.
question.
We can
What?
multitask.
Multitask.
Um,
This town, honestly,
this town.
out of all the towns there is in the world, this
Our
would
guest
probably
today.
be like the one out of all of them I'd like to go to. Like out of all the places in Fairfield, not Fairfield, Iowa, this is definitely the town to be at. Like so much culture, it's like a tiny city almost. if you
It
look at
is. It's got as far as like the concentration of talent
Yeah,
that's in this
exactly.
town. Yeah.
And like Fairfield's just creative enough. On the square, there's this little plaque, and it says, on this day in 1978 or something, nothing happened. There's a plaque literally into the cement that just says that.
Yeah.
So Fairfield's pretty darn
There's
interesting.
also a plaque on the square that also commemorates the, was it the Oregon Trail or was it the Mormon Trail? There's also a thing on the square that also brings that.
We should know this.
And then on Howard Park, at Howard Park, I believe, is also a plaque about, that's the training grounds during the Civil War. So if we're talking about plaques, there's
Did you
also
guys-
the plaque over where the first Iowa State Fair was held.
Is that right? And it's all here in Fairfield.
All here in Fairfield.
And we also have a time capsule on the square too.
Yeah.
Waiting to be opened.
That's the same plaque,
That is.
I believe.
When is that getting
I'm
opened?
pretty sure that's on the same, in a few years.
Yeah.
Then when they open it, it's going to be great. How far back does Fairfield goes back hundreds of years? Do we know anything? I, right before a year, came from California, from LA, and then before that was from New York, so I have no
nice.
clue. I'm still learning. But can you Iowans, and especially you Fairfieldians, teach me what are some of the biggest historical facts about Fairfield?
The site of the first Iowa State Fair, I think.
Yeah,
is pretty,
there's
that's
that.
a pretty.
Corn country, the heartland.
Okay.
I guess great soil to grow.
First city west of the Mississippi to have electricity.
That was Jason Strong, ladies and gentlemen, behind the
That was-
camera.
I
That's
did
great.
not
That's
know
wonderful.
that
That's
one.
really
I
good.
actually didn't know that one either.
That was
We also have
cool.
the first Carnegie Library west of the Mississippi.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
The first, the Masden Barns, there was some first with that, wasn't that? Wasn't there some first with that? I just think there's a lot of, I'm pretty sure there's actually a lot of firsts
Yeah.
in
Wasn't-
Fairfield.
Oh, we have the first Vivos, right?
The first
yeah.
Vivo.
We have the first Vivo. Okay.
That's such a weird name. Nobody else would. So
think,
creative.
You know the fire
Not
station
really. We
here
love
in
you,
town?
Vivo.
I think that actually used to be the movie theater.
Oh,
the movie
cool.
theater
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
I think that used to be the old.
Well,
fire
there's also a
station.
drive-in in Fairfield.
There was
a drive-in theater.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember as a kid that's gone away?
What do I remember as a kid that's gone away?
Corey is only 15 years old, but there must be some
Something.
things that.
We had a Paul Revere's. That's gone away.
Wait, Corey's only 15 years old. What?
Geez,
Or maybe a couple of years.
a couple of years ago.
Older than that.
What has gone away?
Do you remember any? Were there things that were on the square that have
Oh,
sort
I'm
of?
sure.
Bread
sure.
dough's
Bread
gone.
dough.
Yeah.
What?
Can we hear about how
Bread
much
dough.
we miss bread dough
Oh,
here?
man.
Bread dough. I was just about to say what?
Had to move to Mount Pleasant. But
No, didn't move. The guy was just like, "Hey, I can't handle both of these
Yeah, he
stores."
just picked it up to.
And the thing that I was like going, you know what? Because the franchise was open, I believe, and I thought, I should look into this. See how I've got some money saved up. I can maybe throw some money in, get a loan, and I mean, bread dough. How can you go wrong with bread dough?
Right?
And I didn't do it. And now I'm a little sad.
Bread
No
dough
offense
was-
to Johnny's Place. I actually have had many fine, fantastic meals at Johnny's Place.
So what you're saying is that Johnny's Place took over the spot where bread dough was.
was where bread
Yeah.
dough.
What
was.
did bread dough have that was very that
Their
you loved?
pizza.
Their pizza,
Best pizza in town. Like
Butter
cheapest.
crust.
butter crust.
That
Jason again.
too.
Thank you, Jason.
Yes.
Butter crust,
Yes, it was the. Oh man.
otherwise
I
known
wanna
as the
talk
cardiac
about it.
special.
I'll just say that I think, and maybe it's the same way for you. When I think of pizza, I imagine a bread dough pizza.
Yeah, it's the first thing that pops in my head.
And-
it's like bread
Wow.
dough.
I really missed out. How long
But
did it go away?
here's the best thing, Mike.
in Mount Pleasant.
This isn't the best thing, but it's the nice thing.
I want to go right
The
now.
nice thing, it's like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Well, let's get in the car.
Pick up the mic, take the crane,
Let's drive
Jason.
west.
We'll finish the rest of the interview up around a
We can do
table.
this.
And
Bread dough. Okay. Okay. Take a bite, everybody. Corey, I want to get into you are like the town's aficionado as far as country music at this moment.
I don't know
In my
about
opinion,
that.
my humble
Okay.
opinion. I know other
Ron
people.
the Barber knows a lot about country music, let me tell you.
So we made a mistake by not having
Yeah.
him. Okay. All right, but I want to know. But you play an awful lot of great country music. Like I said, you hosted the country show over at the Sondheim, and well, let's start there. The Sondheim adventure, where all the town basically jumped in and did a country jamboree.
Right, the whole town.
The whole town, all 10,000 people that were the Gazelles and the Lions. They also joined in. What was that like? I mean. You were the host, and it was, I'll bet a little bit. You were a little maybe a little nervous, But then again, not.
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
Well, no, I mean it was cool. I mean it was a Fairfield Musicians Club event, and the Fairfield Musicians Club brings a bunch of Fairfield talented musicians together, and they put on shows.
Did you play anything?
I did not play anything. You heard my banjo playing. I mean,
So
I haven't probably
exciting.
picked it up in 6 months. It's probably my first time picking up a banjo in 6 months. You know, you're
6 months and you still know something.
Well, you know, play a while. And so they did ask if I would host it as being the MC of it, being the country music jamboree host, and I agreed. And it was kind of like a dream come true to be able to host sort of a Grand Ole Opry style. Very different than the Grand Ole Opry, but it was fun. It was a really fun event. And I think, listen up, Fairfield, I think there's been talks about doing another one.
Woo!
Another Heart of the Country Part 2.
Nice.
And Dale Thomas was the steel player in that show, and he's actually been getting in touch with some people saying he'd like to do it again. He's a really big name in Iowa country music.
Oh, nice.
He's also in the Iowa
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
And you didn't even know there was an Iowa Rock
No,
and Roll
I
Hall of
didn't.
Fame.
Well,
That's what
why
he's
don't we go
actually
into
going-
this? There are people who are listening who don't know about the Iowa Rock and Roll.
I don't actually know that much about it. I'm sure there's a place where it's at, and I'm sure you can go and you can check it out. I've never been there, but it sounds like a good road trip for you and Gabe.
Gabe, let's go.
Let's
After
roll.
you-
Here's a shirt.
But
for you,
unfortunately, I think it's in the other direction of Mount Pleasant. I think it's probably closer to
We're gonna
Brett-
have to do a loop.
Brento first one.
So I don't know a lot about it, but I know there's several names in it. I know Dale was in it. Dale Thomas was in it because of...
And Dale's a Fairfieldian, right?
No.
And Dale is not a Fairfieldian.
But he did seem to enjoy himself here. Enjoyed playing with the people.
He's an honorary Fairfieldian.
I think he may live around Iowa City. Otherwise, north of us,
Okay. Does he?
in the
You think-
mid Iowa region.
Do you think he goes to Bread Dough?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
I'm
bet
sure.
he's.
Sure he does.
I bet he's
Okay,
on
good.
there. Yeah, he's his band. He was in kind of a country dance band when he was younger, and then he got right around the time the whole rock and roll thing came in, and so you had a lot of the the rockabilly thing because you had all these white country boys really enjoying the rhythm and blues and the Elvis and all that sort of thing, and then so that got popular. He started playing some of that, played that around, and apparently he also released on the Dot label. Do you remember the Dot label?
Working at Universal, we owned the Dot label.
Hey! Did you meet Wink Martindale? No.
Wink Martindale?
No. But anyway, Mac Wise.
That's before me too.
Yeah.
I'm old, but not that old. Jason, first old joke. We got to keep a count here. Okay.
I was just waiting. I was sort of assuming this was going to be a little like You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx, where you guess the secret word and you get a prize. And so
We haven't hit
eventually,
the word yet. Jason, he's already got it. He knows. Oh my God. Keep going. You just might win a little something.
Is this the prize? The one that...
No, although I wanted to ask you, let's actually cut to that. We are obviously, since we're talking about country, we're talking about Anne Murray and Linda Ronstadt. That's country music, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I also enjoy
Who?
Hawkshaw Hawkins.
Not Hawkshaw Hawkins. No, get out of
The
town.
late great Hawkshaw Hawkins
Oh, when did he die?
with Patsy Cline.
He died with Patsy Cline.
Yeah, and
How
that
did you die?
it was a plane crash.
Wow.
He didn't know about the plane crash.
I don't know a lot about old music.
How did
Obviously, with the
And Patsy Cline is dead. That means too, right?
yeah, she was surviving. No,
This is
she
really
passed.
sad. This is really. This is not
Have
too
you-
much.
have
The
you-
show is like.
Do you think he's? Do you know about Buddy Holly? You know
Yeah,
about the
I
Buddy
love
Holly?
Buddy Holly.
Do you know that he passed away as well
When?
in the plane crash?
Not with Patsy Cline.
Not with Patsy Cline and Hawkshaw
Hawkshaw
Hawkins.
Hawkins, though.
What plane crash did he die in?
The one with Jim. No, that's not the one. Jim
No, the
Croce
one with the
died
Big
too.
Bopper,
The one with the Big Bopper. That's right.
Richie Valens,
And Richie Valens, but not Dion.
not Dion.
And you know how we know that, Fairfield? Because there's a certain show on
Mike
Crew-
Ragogna's
Solar-
2.0.
Solar-powered Crew FM, which is a 100.1 in your FM dial, whatever that is.
But you know who also wasn't on that plane trip?
The reason why I said Dion is because we actually got him to talk about that, and he was emotional. To this day, he's still like, oh my gosh, every moment.
And that
counts.
interview is available right now at RUUFM.com.
Wait,
on
so
there.
someone
It's true.
survived the plane crash?
And
No.
by not going.
Oh.
And the reason why they
not going.
and the reason why he didn't go, Dion DiMucci, he's the one, they call me the Wanderer, oh, the Wanderer. And also, has anybody here seen my old friend, Johnny? Can you tell me where, okay.
He's like, you know.
Why aren't you a singer?
He's a really good singer.
Yeah.
Have you see him at the Springsteen show?
Were you in it?
No, he had a song.
I was in it, yeah, you know, like Mike, you're at the station, you got to do something, get the heck out there. They shoved me out, I was like, dang. Yeah.
You know who else was not on the Buddy Holly plane crash?
Who else was not?
Waylon Jennings.
That's right.
Because Waylon was in Buddy's band,
That's
and
right.
then Waylon, I think he lost the
Coin
toss.
The coin.
Talking about
He
the loss
lost-
of Buddy Holly.
He lost the coin toss, but Dion actually had a seat and gave it away to, I forgot who he said he gave it to. Oh,
Where were
no.
they headed?
But he gave it, well, and then, by the way, the plane crash was here
in Iowa.
in Iowa.
After they played a show at the ballroom, the surf ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa.
That sucks.
It does suck. But Dion didn't go because what I wanted to just to finish up the Dion thing was we found out that it cost $36 to take this chartered plane, and his parents had brought him up, and he said this in the interview. His parents had brought him up to be thrifty, so $36 to him at the time he felt like that was a lot of money. I'm going to take the bus. I'll be fine. Thank you very much.
And it turns out he was.
Yeah.
That $36 bought anyway.
Was more.
What a whole life.
It's sort of like it's
Where's
a joke,
this interview
but I
going?
feel like it's a little dark.
All right.
Well, if you want to hear dark, you know what Waylon, in a joking moment, said to Buddy Holly, "Well, I hope your plane crashes."
He did not.
No, he did. He did.
He did not.
That's the story.
Yeah.
That's the story. And I don't think Waylon would make this story up to make himself
Yeah.
look bad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I
pretty sure
remember
he
hearing
did.
he had a lot of guilt. He worked through that a lot in his life. That he basically told him that he hoped his plane
Yeah,
crashed.
because he lost the bet and he was like,
Yeah. Do you know the story?
How do you think
Yeah.
he would have said it? I want to hear how you think he might have said
I
it.
don't want to reenact
Come
Buddy
on,
Holly.
I hope your plane
Buddy
crashes.
Holly being
Gabe
told
was
by
doing
Waylon
it. Gabe was doing
You
it.
know what, Buddy Holly? Go for it. I hope your plane crashes. I'm
You
pretty
know,
sure.
who have we offended by this point? Probably
I don't,
every
I
single
don't know if
person
we've,
who's
I don't
watching
know if
this
we've
show right
offended
now.
anybody.
I personally love Buddy Holly, so there's no offense.
Okay.
You know who also died in a plane crash? Jim Reeves.
Yes. What is
Put
it with
your
planes? I'm never getting on a plane
little-
again. It's
Wait,
this is
didn't
scaring
all the
me.
people from
Little
Van
closer.
Halen die in a plane crash?
Was that? Wasn't there a Fleetwood Mac plane crash?
Yeah, Fleetwood
No,
Mac.
no, we can bring up that other group we always bring up, but that would be very tasteless. We can't do that either. Jim Croce died in a plane crash, and also Ricky Nelson, right?
I forgot the Ricky Nelson
Yeah.
one.
Ricky Nelson. We had Sam Nelson. We interviewed his son, and we had the other two.
I interviewed
From
the other
Van
two.
Halen?
Yeah, that's right.
No, not
Oh,
Van
okay. I was
Halen.
gonna say what?
So Crew has covered the surviving Nelson family. If you want to
They have the
say it like
sister
that.
or something, don't they?
Yeah, Tracy.
We need to get Tracy.
We can
Mike?
get Tracy.
Mike?
We can get Tracy. She was on the Father Dowling Mysteries. She played a nun. Do you remember?
No.
No.
I do remember Ozzy and Harry. I do remember
You
Ozzy and
remember
Harry.
Ozzy and Harry? You remember Father Dowling? You know, that was the most important series on television. and you don't remember.
Somebody. Father Dowling Mysteries is the most important on television.
All right, maybe it wasn't, but it was on television, and that's what's most
Do
important.
you remember the Father Dowling Mysteries?
It was on television.
You know what? I remember the Brady Bunch.
That's what's important,
this
okay,
happened.
kid? Stop being 17 already.
That's
All
what's
this youngness.
Is it your birthday today?
It's your birthday. It's your birthday, eh?
important.
How old are you again?
Yeah.
Somebody at lunch, I was getting lunch, and somebody made a Brady Bunch reference, and I couldn't remember the housekeeper's name. It was Alice. The lady who made the reference said Alice, and I went, oh. I was very impressed that she remembered.
And who was the housekeeper's name? What was the housekeeper's name on the Partridge Family?
Ooh.
Who remembers the part?
Trick question. Didn't have a
That
housekeeper.
was I was
Yeah.
thinking.
They were a middle-class family who didn't have a housekeeper. Like the Brady Bunch, who were the children of architects and.
But who was
and
the
stay-at-homes.
manager? The manager on the Partridge Family was
Reuben Kincaid.
Reuben Kincaid. That's the
Oh,
one.
here we are. That's pretty funny. Now we can start talking about the Partridge Family. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the Partridge Family. Let's just talk about that.
All right.
No, let's not talk about that at all.
Well, I think it's about.
You just brought it up. I want to know why.
I was mentored. Yes, people can mentor successfully. My mentor was Tommy West of Cashman and West. This was my mentor. My mentor was really Mel Tillis.
Wrong way. Wrong. This way. You don't tell us.
All right.
Um.
Who was mentored by No, I was mentored by Tommy West, who was a co-writer with Terry Cashman. Terry Cashman and Tommy West had a partnership. They wrote jingles galore. Then they wrote for the Partridge, so they wrote some songs for the Partridge Family.
Nice.
Little known. Okay, and then what happened out of that was they used that money to produce a certain Jim Croce, who came up with "You Don't Mess Around with Jim."
You don't step on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't
pull the mask.
Don't pull the mask off the Lone Ranger.
Oh, no, Lone Ranger.
The
old Lone Ranger.
If you know it, you should be singing it.
And you don't mess around with Jim.
I
think we can teach. I think we can get Gabe to get it.
Gabe, okay, we have to teach Gabe. Okay. You know Bad Bad Leroy Brown, though, right?
Yes.
Oh, can you sing a line?
Bad, bad Leroy Brown.
Can you say
Baddest man in the whole.
Can we say it?
Darn town. Okay.
Can we say it?
This is sorry, Fairfield. We almost went blue. Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, so Jim Croce's career that was started by the money, the seed money that came from the Partridge Family songs like "Only a Moment Ago," "She'd Rather Have the Rain."
I think I love you.
That was the Partridge Family's biggest hit. That was the biggest hit of that year. I falsely said, because I had my information messed up. I do that sometimes. I thought it was the biggest selling single of the 70s. Say that 7 times fast.
What was the biggest selling single of the 70s?
See, I don't know. It was for Freebird. No, but it was but in 1970, was it 1970? 1970. That was the biggest hit of 1970, and it sold millions and millions of copies. But enough of that.
Come on, get happy.
Oh, you're singing my song here. But other than that, the Partridge Family also funded. Are you ready? We wouldn't have had a tribute the other night if it weren't for the Partridge Family, or the other week or month or whatever it was. We did the tribute to the Bruce Springsteen thing. Bruce Springsteen was funded by Mike Appel and Jim Kretikos, who were writers for the Partridge Family, songwriters for the Partridge Family, and that money paid for the initial demos that went into, eventually Bruce Springsteen getting signed, and the management deal and everything that happened there. Rupert Holmes, if you like pina coladas, you know this too. I love this kid.
Although I think he did the glasses taking it off for him. You know, when he was saying that, you should have been like, "Dear God, man!"
Not the pina colada song. Why are we talking about them? Partridge Family and all this stuff. So
basically,
anyway,
I really want to be a regular guest on the show. So if we can keep pushing on talking about something actual, I can keep coming back in, and we'll finally get around to the radio
more
station.
About Cory then.
Okay.
How does everyone feel about him growing his mustache back?
We're going to do a survey. We're going
All
to
the
have
9,000.
a poll.
10,000 people.
10,000 people, somewhere between 9 and 10,000 people. We would like you to contact us at what is our email address?
info@kruufm.com.
One more time.
info@kruufm.com.
And the poll is: should Cory bring back his mustache?
Do you remember?
I just voted. Yeah, I remember.
You remember?
I remember. I just voted. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I think you should go for the whole beard. I think you should go for the wooded man.
You know what? I will go ahead and say it that my facial hair is only now. I feel like actually acting like facial hair.
I know. I saw the mustache at Crew, and I was like, "That's a nice mustache."
It was the mustache that grew.
Was that a sarcasm?
It was a little bit. You can tell you just grew it in. I was like, "That's a nice mustache."
Good.
He's
Well,
being complimented.
it's compliment, but I'm just saying that it's
Compliment
kind of
with a
like
bit of a. You should do it better.
we should do it better.
Full of Shane mustache.
Well, Shane, I could.
Thick mustache.
That's some
right.
some men just are better equipped at growing facial hair. One of my good friends, Gregory Gallagher, was growing
Gregory, I hope you're listening. Just been
very
name-checked.
nice full beards, like in like junior, sophomore year of high school. And
Manly beards.
nice, really manly ones.
You have to shave twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
You got to.
And I feel like
Not
I've
with a bic.
shears.
You have to use a shaving razor.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying that I'm just I heard some people. I've just heard people
Now,
talk.
what about you? What are your shaving habits at this point? See, we called him out. Your turn, buddy.
I'm going for the Satan's goatee.
Satan's goatee. You've heard it here first. Okay, so at info at.
Are we doing a Gabe?
Yes, we are. We're going to do a Gabe poll
Info
now.
at kruufm.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to know what facial hairstyle we should have on Gabriel Bishop.
Is this going to be like a poll? Like it
Yes.
could be the Fu Manchu. It could be the
It
singer.
could be
Fu Manchu.
anything. Just throw it out
Can
there.
we, I think your future's in mutton chops.
Mutton chops?
Yeah. Yep. Mutton chops.
I can see that.
But here's the
Harry Chapin wore them well. Or a Van Dyke. I think you should do a Van Dyke.
That'd be hilarious.
Does anybody even remember what these terms are?
Why when I had
think you, though.
when I had the mustache, I didn't think because I'd been watching a lot of William Powell movies at the time, and so I really did this. I went ahead and I shaved it skinny.
Yeah, that's
My wife was none too pleased. She was like, "What? Why?
about
Why?"
asked
And I
that
was like,
now.
"No, it's classy. William Powell was a classy guy."
Watch this how we seg now into something that Cory is very talented in, and I'm almost going to get serious about this. Ooh. Cory is an amazing aficionado of radio shows, of old radio shows, drama radio shows, and he also writes and has produced and has acted in some of his own radio shows that we've aired at Solar Powered Crew FM, which is at 100.1 in your FM dial, whatever that is. I think let's talk about that. What got you into? I mean, I am really a big fan. This is when we first got together at the station. We were actually planning on maybe getting together and writing some stuff and actually doing this. It kind of
We realized we have a horrible work ethic.
yeah, and we really didn't like each other, so we thought this isn't going to work.
I don't like that one bit. Every time I'm playing the crew, you guys are out there like throwing your hands around and talking.
Who was the one?
Throwing couches through
Were
windows.
you the one? Were you the one who
Cam
played?
played Toto.
You were the one who played Africa.
Cameron was.
Cameron
Oh, yeah.
played Africa.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a
Yep.
party.
That was mostly Mike. He was the one who cranked
Yeah,
it
he
All
up.
right,
was like
so what?
jamming
So
out
was
there.
Mike. Fine.
Dude out there doing like this.
Yeah, I was doing the whole.
Can we pipe Africa in right now so we can really?
No, we'd have to pay royalties.
Okay.
We can just mouth it. We can mouth it without singing it, and that'll work.
Oh shoot! Did we, with our singing those songs, are we gonna have to pay the royalties for all the?
Uh,
Did Jim Croce just make a whole lot of money off of us right now?
because our versions of what we just said, I don't think
it was
I think
mostly
we-
along.
Yeah.
It was about the melody of the Star
Yeah.
Spangled Banner and God Bless
well,
America.
yeah. Let's just say in a court of law, they go, get out of here. All right. The
But
radio drama.
I've been a big fan of them for a long time. I think at some point I always just appreciated older things, and so I think.
Oh, thanks
radio-
a lot.
Hey, this guy.
That's two Jason.
Hey, no.
two.
This is why we couldn't work together
See,
because
this
you were
is
too
right.
young for me.
Oh,
One more joke and we get a prize.
Hey.
Nah.
um.
I'm gonna bring up your facial hair. You got to radio, man.
Hey, what's the difference between an onion and a banjo? Nobody cries when you cut up a banjo.
That is actually corny and funny. I love it.
What do you call 100 banjos at the bottom of the ocean? A good start.
Good start.
All right.
Do you see where we're going, ladies and gentlemen of Fairfield? Now,
What do you see? What's the
We're not
sound?
talking about radio dramas.
What's the
This is good.
sound that the banjo makes when you throw it into a dumpster and it hits an accordion?
Gabriel?
Perfect pitch.
God.
Did you come up with these?
No.
Okay.
If you go, into your favorite search engines, search banjo jokes, you'll come across several of these.
I can't even look at you now. What? Radio drama. The drama.
I prefer to talk about country music.
Oh, right, country music. You mean like Linda Ronstadt and Anne Murray?
Hey, no more like Charlie Pride and Mel Tillis.
Right, okay, fine. If you
Oh,
have
here
to.
we go.
Truck driving songs.
Do you like truck driving
I
songs?
like truck
you mean
driving
like, yeah,
songs.
we got a mighty convoy.
Boy.
Ain't that a beautiful
C.W.
sight?
McCall.
Okay.
C.W. McCall, the
good.
convoy. This is the rubber duck.
This
Is that on here?
Rubber Ducky. That's a Big 10-4.
That's a big.
Isn't
That's a
Rubber
big.
Ducky a Bert and Ernie song?
Aw.
Hey.
They're adorable women of this age, aren't they? Oh my God.
Actually, I don't think this is the. I think this is a different record than what's.
Put that away.
That's-
Don't confuse the audience. What are you doing?
But I think there has been and I think truck driving songs is an all right segue into that. A lot of the music I like to play on my show, the Country Music Jamboree, which is Tuesday mornings from 10 till noon.
From 10 till noon. I need
Also-
to wake up early on Tuesdays.
Do you have a phone? You could program it.
Jump in the truck.
Jump in the truck.
Listen to this show.
Well, I was going to say that you don't hear a lot of truck driving songs these days. It's kind of more of an older thing, more traditional country thing.
One of the big truck driver loved artists, Stoney Edwards. Did you ever hear of Stoney?
Of course.
Ah.
Dave Dudley?
Yes, you did. You're just sitting there. I'm just 17. I never heard of Stoney Edwards. This kid knows a lot.
What about Pete Drake?
Pete Drake.
My uncle has a few
Pete
albums
Drake
with
ended
him.
up being a great producer too.
He was. Had his own record label as well.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Carl Smith.
Nice.
Carl Smith.
Look at
I've
these
heard
covers,
some Carl
ladies and
Smith.
gentlemen. Are you checking out these covers here?
These are good ones. Also,
And Meltilla's front ways.
June Carter Cash's ex-husband right here.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about
No,
that.
it still hurts to say.
Love is a burning thing,
It's true.
and it makes
true.
a fire.
Fire. Okay.
But the Country Music Jamboree, I host it every Tuesday morning from 10 until noon, and it gets rebroadcast Sunday mornings from 6 until 8 a.m.
Nice.
I know it's a little early on Sunday mornings, but you might be, recovering from the night before or getting ready for church. So I try to both.
I'm recovering from the night before.
And getting ready for church. And what does this look like? Okay. Join the crew, you might say.
So you can tune us in at 100.1, where you can hear some super variety for a super community.
Yes. Solar
And
powered.
if you don't have a
What else?
radio, go to the internet. At the very top of Crew FM website, there's a Now Listening, and you can pick that, and you'll hear what's playing.
Yep.
And you know what? If you have a smartphone or one of those intelligent contraptions,
As we like to call them instead.
there's, I think, a TuneIn app,
Yes, there is.
and you can get Crew on that. So
That's
you can
right.
take that with you wherever you go.
Need
When
a
you
smartphone.
When you save up your $36, and
Use your $36 for that.
it might just save your life.
It might just save your life. Oh my God.
I
Okay.
feel like I might have $36, and
On
it
you?
kind of scares me that you might know that.
On you?
Is it with the baby picture? Let's check out that baby picture one more time.
Ooh, only $10.
Where's the baby picture? Come on, one more time with the
Look what
baby
I
picture.
Yeah.
I
Baby
got-
picture.
I got nothing in here.
Not even you know what that we talked about earlier that we can't mention? I know.
Credit card.
A credit card.
Oh wait, I flashed that on screen. Somebody's gonna slow that down,
Yes.
zoom in.
Oh no. Jason's going, nah, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
What if he's saying don't say that? People will do that. Just don't give them any more ideas.
All right, now,
I'm surprised I was able to see that hand signal from him way up in the crane.
I know, and that the gazelles were like.
I'm just looking forward to this interview getting over so we can get away from that stench. So.
But
No,
after
sorry.
a while you get. Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy.
I was worried because I was wearing I was wearing
Everybody, this chick is,
I was
love it.
I was wearing
So classy.
I was wearing
Hi,
a sweater.
Fairfield.
I was wearing a sweater before I came on the air, and I think just like Gabe, we were just going about our days.
Yeah.
Mike comes up and he's like, "Hey, let's go do something. Let's go be on TV." And we're like, "Oh, okay,
Why
sure."
not?
It's like there'll be free things. It's like guess the secret word and you get a prize.
That was it. Prize. You win. You
Hey!
win this picture of Gabriel at age. Well, how old are you here?
How are you?
Here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like 5. But if that was me,
It was you.
Strapping.
it was
It was you.
you.
It was you. Congratulations.
There's something I was
Thank you
going to
for
say.
playing.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've been very worried about having sweat stains in my pits, but it's probably best that I forgot about that and didn't say it. But then I went ahead and said it. So.
You did. All right, let's quickly quickly take a little ginger, or refresh our taste buds for,
Ginger snap.
with a little something. I wanted to also mention. Well, Gabriel, you've listened to his show before, right?
I think I've caught it once.
But he's
before I knew
really
what it
wanting
was.
to listen to it because
Yeah.
I play some
Really
amazing
wanted to listen to
banjo
it.
players.
That's right.
I play some Earl Scruggs. I play some Bill Emerson. I play some J.D. Crowe, who's coming to town or who has maybe came to town or maybe is in town at this moment, depending on when this airs, and gets re-aired.
Depending on where this airs. That's right. It's true. It's when this airs.
So I play all those guys.
Need to tune in.
You need to tune in, Gabe.
Yeah.
I need
tune
to
up.
wake up early. Is what I need to do.
You don't get up before 10?
I try to. If I don't, then I'm having a
Here's,
terrible
you know
day.
what? Here's the secret. Go to bed early.
Can't do it. Insomnia.
Insomnia?
What time do you fall asleep?
Like 5, 6.
You realize that half of Fairfield just now went.
Dear God, Mac!
It's true though. I know
One
it's
night
like-
when the
No,
first
you have to go to
night
bed by
I did
10.
my Saturday night show that goes from 10 to 12, I was there all the way till 3 in the morning because something happened that no one little ghosts and ghouls came in and got
That was
a hold
just
of me.
the insomnia.
Yeah.
It was having hallucinations.
Delusional inside crew.
But that was like no big deal for you
Yeah, no.
because.
Ever since then, crews been going top notch.
Well, I was meaning it's no big deal for you to stay up that late.
Right, you had another good couple of hours to go after
Gives
that.
me something to do.
Do you don't hit like the coffee shops at like 10 p.m. because sometimes.
Are there coffee shops open?
See, this is the problem. Well, young man, how many cups of coffee are you having a day? You have as many as me?
I thought there was going to be free coffee here.
No,
Coffee and donuts.
They got coffee down the block. You want coffee down the block here.
took
Here's
me away
20
from
cents.
all this room and no coffee.
You took me away from my coffee.
That's right. You were literally right in front of the coffee shop. It's like, no, come. I must take you away from the evils of coffee.
I'm really glad that we're like really sharing a lot.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this has been like one of the most
know.
like personal conversations I've ever had with either of you. We're
Yeah,
talking
no
about
kidding.
our facial hair,
Facial-
our like
that's right,
insomnia,
and pits.
our pits.
Okay, so one more. So everybody reveals this is like not truth or dare, but this is like do
Truth.
it. Truth. A truth we need to know about Gabriel Bishop. Come on.
Any in particular one?
Come on. Let's go. Yeah.
Um,
Come on. Don't think. Go. Just go. Do
ask me
it.
so. I can't say the truth.
A truth. Anything about you.
First song you knew all the words to.
Okay. First Beatles song you hated.
Ooh, good one.
Ooh.
Trick question. Hate them all.
First Grateful Dead song you heard and you went, well, I'm not so crazy about that one.
Doing
First-
the rag.
Doing the right.
We now have the
The
facts.
best song I know all the words to is Uncle John's Band or Sugar Magnolia.
Good. Good.
Go figure.
Go figure, right?
Cory, your same question.
Same question.
What's your least favorite Beatles song?
My least favorite Beatles song. Jeez. You know what?
I wonder how many people are getting offended by that question.
I know. I
We're
feel like
just
we can.
kidding.
I think
We're
we can
just
make
kidding.
Buddy
We
Holly
kid 'cause we
death
love-
jokes, but in Fairfield, like they'll be like, "Oh, they're making fun of Buddy Holly's death."
Right, that's
Great.
the deal.
What? People don't like the
The
Beatles.
Beatles. Radio drama would be like a,
Dear God.
Dear God, man.
These glasses don't even work. I just brought them for the prop. I just knew I was going to
How
be
bad is it?
are we doing glasses switches?
Whoa.
There we go. Okay.
good or bad or.
That's not bad.
Enough of that. Linda Ronstadt and Anne Murray. That's where we're at right now.
Favorite Anne Murray song? Can I have?
Yeah,
can I
favorite.
have this dance for the rest of my life? Huh?
The figures, yeah.
Figures.
Was that at your wedding?
No, wish it was.
Oh.
Best concert you guys have been to? Like venue, show, festival, anything.
Wow.
Ooh. I would. You know what? I'm just saying this off the top of my head because it reminds me of what you had said about actually seeing Daft Punk. Saw Loretta Lynn last year, and so I was very, I was
wow.
very happy to actually get to see Loretta Lynn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you
You know.
see them at?
I saw them. No, I saw her at Hoyt Sherman, the Hoyt Sherman in Des Moines.
Oh, nice.
Great venue, great little venue, Hoyt Sherman.
Bruce Springsteen, 1978, Tampa, Florida.
Dang.
He was on. It was the River Tour, and I remember staying up all night, and we had little camp out things. We had tents and everything on this big plaza. And everybody was, of course, doing their young thing. I won't go. You can use your imagination. So then the next morning, everybody is online wanting to see this concert, and everybody's pushing and shoving. Within a minute of when the pushing and shoving started, it didn't exist. Prior to this moment. The National Guard was there, and they started pushing back with the clubs and the plastic shields and all of that, plastic whatever the heck, shields.
Right.
So they were like, they were just like, they were treating this like it was like a protest or whatever.
This is
It
your
was
best,
horrible.
Best
So that's my
concert?
best
Yeah.
concert ever. No, so
It
by
reminds
the
me
time
of,
I got in
It
there,
reminds me of that City Slickers where they're like, "What was your best day ever?" It's like, "Oh, the day I told my dad to take a hike." You know?
That's right. No, what happened was, part of this, the reason why is that
You
we
sound
never got
ready.
to, I figured I'm out of here, I'm not going to get beaten up with a billy club, so I went home, and then my boss at the time bought me a ticket for Springsteen. So all was
Nice.
well. And we had fun the night before, so, the group. So we went there, saw the concert, and I was like, that was my first Bruce Springsteen concert, and it was amazing.
I will also say, this was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to, and I think you would love them. The Del McCurry Band, and you should go ahead and look them up if you haven't, because they're like the best bluegrass band out there. They're like on the, but they're also like all the guys in that. Del McCurry was with Bill Monroe. They're just a fantastic, fantastic group that you should check out.
You should check out the Carolina Chocolate Drops.
I already have, brother.
Carolina Chocolate
already
Drops.
have.
Yeah.
Very good.
They've both
Just
played
got
at the
the,
Engler.
promo.
Del McCurry
Love
and Carolina Chocolate Drops
Dang.
have played, so you gotta check that Engler.
Yeah. Oh, and we might be doing what, Hot Tuna interviews and all sorts of stuff. So Tommy Rowe.
At Crew FM.
At Solar Powered Crew FM, which is 100.1 in your
Magnificent
FM,
voice
whatever
from
that is.
Fairfield, Iowa.
Super variety for a super community.
Yes, that too. And by the way, I guess we don't do pledge pitches here. We can't.
You
This
could.
is like
If
we could.
if people want to give us money, we will accept it if that's what you're trying to get at.
Okay, well then, if people want to give us money, we would accept it.
It helps keep the station on the air.
Do you hear
And
that?
you go to KRUUFM.com, there's like a donate now.
Yeah, and also, in FPAC, we've got FPAC, we've got...
I know, you
Biggest
got so
Friday
much-
Best
after
radio
too.
station in Iowa, I'd say. Because
It
wasn't
is.
someone complaining about that?
Who's the most, being the most
That we
eclectic?
have too much variety?
Yeah, it's true. Somebody
Too
did
much
call out
variety.
saying that our biggest problem, got too much variety.
All right, we're going to have to wrap this up. We have way too much variety on the show today. We have to wrap this up. Thank you very, very much, Gabriel Bishop and Cory Hickenbottom for being
Thank
on
you.
Fairfield 2.0. I really appreciate it. Who knows what the next show will be, but there will be a next show. I'm predicting
When are you
there
having
will
us
be.
back?
You can come back anytime you'd like.
That'd be awesome.
All right.
We're going to start taping the next show right as soon as we get done with this.
You got it. And
And
Jason,
we're
thanks again.
back.
Jason Strong and Fairfield.
All 9,000 of you.
All 10,000. I think of the gazelles and hello, giraffe. Are you still there? Okay, good. Really, come back next time, and who knows what you'll see. Take care, everybody.